come. All right, let's do this.
All right, bro. This pandemic done got us all thrown out, bro.
Yeah,
normal circumstances, we be a little bit more smooth with that. You know what I'm saying? We be smooth as another glass of wine, cooler inside the cooler. But right now, we just trying to get through it. So
I hear you, brother.
Without further ado, Purple Fam, I want to bring to the stage my brother for real, Mr. Damon Dixon, better known as Damon D, original member of the new Power Generation MPJ. What's up, fam?
What's up, brother? How you doing, family?
Hey, man, I'm great now that I'm sitting here talking to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We making this H-Town to Minneapolis connection work as best we can. And I hope everybody out there in the virtual world can see us, can hear us with no problem. Before we get into the interview and the Q&A, got a little business we gonna conduct, you know. Okay. Brother Damon and I was talking earlier. And go ahead and tell them what we was talking about, bro. Tell them what we was talking about.
Well, you know, we're talking about the Purple family and we out here trying to be safe and all that stuff, you know. Got my mask ready, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We trying to keep it straight, right? We got to make sure we doing it right. Huh?
Yeah, let me get right with you, bro.
Come on, man. Get right now. Come on.
We getting right.
You know what it is.
We can't tell y'all to get right and we don't get right.
I know that's right. That's right. We got to represent and we got to let them know that, you know, this is where we got to be. If we're trying to stay safe, trying to make everybody safe in the world and do the right things, man. So if you ain't got one, get one. If you ain't trying to get out there and be safe, go out there and purchase you a mask, man, and make sure you're trying to keep your loved ones safe, your elderly, your mother, your father, your grandmother, you know, and all that. And keep everybody safe. That's what it's about, man. So
That's what it's about.
So definitely we trying to make that work, right? Yes, sir.
There it is. All right. Well, we also talked earlier about all our Purple fam that joined us via Zoom.
Yeah.
Each of you had to enter a 4-digit password to join the Zoom. Well, actually, it was a numeric password, so you entered 4 numbers.
Yeah, so 4 numbers. Yeah.
Contest Damon and I want to introduce to you those 4 numbers. Spell out a word on your phone touchpad that has some relevancy to Prince. So the first person who can tell us through the Zoom chat what those 4 numbers spell out, that's a Prince reference, will win a prize. And before the night is over, we'll check and see if there's any winners. And if not, we may have to give you a hint. We may give you a hint at the end of this interview. But let's get into the interview.
Maybe.
We might. We don't know yet. We might.
Yeah. We don't know.
I have an understanding that you have some Texas ties, some Texas connections. So briefly, let us know your Texas connection.
Yeah. So, you know, as you know, I got an uncle that's a Q. And, you know, we talk all the time over Facebook and chat every now and then and stuff. But my uncle Stan Newman,
that's it.
Who is a Q, and he's a, you know, big fan of my. There you go. That's big fan of you. You know what I'm saying? And y'all talk, so y'all got that connection. And so family wise, you know, I got a lot of family down in Texas, everywhere from Lubbock to Houston to Dallas to Paris, Clarksville, you name it, Austin. I got relatives all over down there. So when I come to Texas, that's home for me. You know what I mean?
Right on. Well, then, with that being said, and Texas was a home base for you, when and what year did you make the move to Minnesota, and what inspired you to do so?
Well, inspired. I didn't have a choice. My mother and father brought us up here at an early age. I think I might have been about 11 when we moved up here. We actually left Texas on a stormy night.
Wow.
You know, it was one of those thunderstorm nights. They said it might be a tornado coming or whatever.
Might be a tornado coming.
We was on our way out, and I want to say that was about 68 or so.
Okay.
I want to say 68 or so, something like that, 68, 67. And we moved up here then and kind of started making a living here. My father had a brother that was here, and so we talked him into moving up here. Moved to Minnesota. Funny story, got here and I didn't, you know, first time ever really seeing snow. You know, I was
Right.
barefooted in the car on the way up here, so you know, we didn't really worry about it. Jumped out the car thinking, you know, hey, that's stuff in there, and it was white, and I'm thinking, I don't know what it is, but I jumped in and it was cold. I jumped back in the car. I was like, boy, you crazy? Like, look, dude, I had no clue what snow was, but
Right.
I learned real quick. You know what I mean?
Right.
We moved up in and didn't have much choice of the move and stuff, but it was cool, man. We got here, stayed about a couple years, man, and then at that point we kind of moved back and forth. We were here for a little bit, year or two, go back to Texas for a minute, come back up here, and we did that up until about 75.
Okay. Well, we're gonna fast forward. We're gonna fast forward from 75 just a little bit. And we're gonna talk about the iconic scene in Purple Rain, the movie. Scene was that Jungle Love in First Avenue.
Yeah.
I want you to tell us briefly about how
the bird,
how you and the fellas was up there pop locking, doing your thing, representing, and how that all changed your life from that one scene that most of everybody on the chat should know about.
Yeah. Well, you know, we got started on that, man. I tell you, the thing was when we got started, man, we used to go down to First Avenue and do dance contests.
Okay.
And when me and Tony M, me and that brother lived in the same apartment complex, and we kind of went down there and checked out the scene. And brother said to me, man, hey man, we could win one of them contests down there. So fast forward, we went down and won them contests about 4 weeks in a row, and got a chance to be in the movie. And so when the movie got started, man, you know, we wasn't really hired to be the dancers on the balcony. We were hired to help pick people to be on scene.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, that's cool, but you know, we had, you know, aspirations and dreams too. We wanted to be in the movie.
Right on.
So we winded up asking them, you know, doing some stuff, and I think we got caught in the bathroom dancing. That's where Prince actually seen us doing something at.
Okay, wow. So what was things like?
It was weird, man.
That's your first time meeting him and engaging with him?
Well, first time engaging with him. We knew of him around the city, you know, because they played in local bands and local stuff around the city. You know, they had a festival they did every year, and he used to come down and play for that.
Okay.
So the first time we actually had an interaction with him, it was actually in the bathroom. He walked in, saw us dancing, and just kind of stood there for a second, and him and Big Chick, and they just kind of looked, and he was like, he left out the video. We all standing there like, oh snap, dude, he just left out of here, man. So me being the curious one, I ran out to see where he went, because I wanted to check out where he went. He went downstairs and he started talking to a cat named Alan Lead, who was his manager at the time.
Yeah.
I looked down there and he points up there at me, and I kind of, oh shoot, man, geez, wait a minute. So later in, he comes up and he goes, hey, well, were you one of the cats dancing in the bathroom? And I'm like, God, I can't lie. He already pointed me out. I'm like, yeah, I was one of the guys. He said, yeah. He said, well, the kid wants to know if y'all do something for him. I'm like, oh, well, yeah. What's up? He said, well, I'm going to bring a cassette tape to y'all. And I want y'all to put together some dance routines. They have a few songs on there, and you guys bring it back tomorrow morning. So I get done, and I get the tape. When dude comes back, I tell Tone, I said, Tone, man, guess what, dude? The kid just sent a run up here, man. We're going to get ready to be on the set, man. We're going to get ready to do something. And he's like, yeah, whatever, nigga. I'm getting ready to go downstairs, man, and get in this scene. And I'm like, really, dude? You're just going to leave like that? He said, well, man, I'm trying to get in the scene. I said, I just told you we would. And he just like left off and stuff, right? So fast forward, Alan gave us the tape. He told me to get the guys that were in the bathroom with us. And at the time, it was me, Tony, Kurt, a brother named Everett Kimbrough, another brother named Scott March, who you probably know. He see him out at Paisley Park. He does security out there.
I know Scott March. That's my man.
So yeah. So we were all in the thing. So when we got the tape, we left, man, and go downstairs. And you know, the end of the night, it must have been 11 o'clock or 12 at night. So we had to come back the next morning at 5 and be prepared.
Right.
So the tape had 7 songs on it.
Okay.
That we had to choreograph that night on into the next morning.
Wow.
Brothers put that stuff together, man. We went on and got them songs together, and the tape broke on the second song, which was Computer Blue.
Computer Blue.
Dude, we sitting there trying to, you know, that old fix the tape.
Yeah.
Get some tape. Brothers was working on that joker. We did surgery on that tape. We got it together, man, and brought it back up, and then we went on from where it cut off, and then we went down to the show the next day, man, and came to us. Alan said, "Hey, come on, follow me. We're gonna go down here. They want to see what y'all got."
Sounds
we walked in the room, man, and Prince, Terry, Jimmy, the whole time, all of them sitting in there, Morris and Jerome and all them guys. And, me and Jerome and I, we all went to school together.
Okay.
So we walk in the room and hit the move and stuff, hit a couple things, and then he cut it like real quick. It wasn't even 2 minutes. Wasn't even just a few seconds of it. He's like, "That's good. I've seen enough." And then we were like, "Oh, snap." He didn't even, God, all right. So we walk out the room and we hear him laughing. And I'm going, what was that all about? So we come out, and then dude said, "Yeah, so what's going to happen is you guys are going to be on the balcony, and then that's where y'all going to be at the rest of the show." We like, "Oh, okay, cool. He said, "So whatever song y'all got the choreography to, that's what you're going to do. Every time you hear that song, that's what you're doing." And that's how I got started, brother.
Wow. Well,
that's how I got started.
Any of y'all listening that may not be familiar with the scene that we're talking about, if you go back and revisit the iconic movie Purple Rain, the dance routine and sequence that we're speaking out took place while March Day and the Time was performing Jungle Love.
Jungle Love,
when
yes,
you
sir.
get to the part of Jungle Love, the camera will cut to the fellas up there putting it down. Yes, and sir. That's when we first got introduced to the crew. So from that, how did your career evolve? And talk to me about when MPG was formed and kind of how you knew that was happening and all that.
Okay, so yeah, after we did the movie, man, we got an opportunity to go out to LA and do the premiere party. Prince came to us and introduced us and told us he wanted us to do a song. And at the time, the song wasn't even out yet,
Okay.
And it was kind of weird because we, never heard the song, and so we got a chance to do the premiere party. And then we went out there thinking we were gonna actually go to the movie, but he called us and said, "Hey, they didn't have enough tickets or whatever it was, and we couldn't get in. But you guys are gonna do the after party." So we like, that's what we were rehearsing for anyway. So we went out and did that. Got back in town, man, and we didn't really hear much from him. It was like kind of a spam was going through. We were like doing a lot of dance shows around the city. So, fast forward a few years, man, we kind of kept our thing going dance-wise around the city and just doing dance shows here and there and stuff, man. And then I think I want to say when they did the Glam Slam video.
Yep.
For the what was that? The Love Sexy thing. So they called us to do that video. Okay. We were like, "Oh, okay, all right. So we're gonna do that. We want to have do the Love Sexy video. Then we wind up doing the Madhouse 10 and 13 videos. So through them times, them videos were just taking time, but he never would take us out on the road. So while we were doing all that, we started thinking, well, man, we looked up and they going out on tour and they got Jerome and Wally and Brooks. And me, Tony, and Kirk was going, wow, that's us. That's supposed to be our spot.
Right.
So brothers went out, had a couple of drinks and started talking mess. And man, them brothers have stole our spot. But we got, we wind up putting together our own little thing because we thought, well, man, maybe we weren't presenting ourselves right, just with the dancing and stuff. So we wind up putting a band together called MPLS.
Okay.
Which was the actual name of it was Multi-Talented Players Laying Sound. So we called it MPLS. And so we wind up doing a show for a local radio station with our band that we had. So we put together this band. Mike was playing drum. We had a brother named Richard Rucker on bass. Walter Chandler was there, the sax player. We had, some other people that was in the band that we kind of just grew on. And we did this show, and Prince came down.
Okay.
So we like, okay, we're going to do this show. And we, 30, we're going to come in the house. So we get in there, dude, and we like throw it down, right? We doing our own original stuff. And we doing, a bunch of cover songs. He comes up to the side of the stage, and he sends Robin Powers up there to dance with us. Try to throw us off. That was his thing. He want to see how professional you are.
Right.
We threw them out there. So we, let her come up and do her thing. And then we cut her, kicked her off the stage after we got done. And then he says, man, y'all didn't tell me y'all played music and dance and sing and do all that. Brother, you never asked. You said
Yes,
come dance
right.
for you.
Right.
So that's how we actually got started. And he's like, hey, so I need y'all to come out to Paisley. Well, that was kind of the first time we actually had a chance to go out to Paisley Park. And we went out there for a couple of weeks, and that was kind of a weird thing because he didn't sign us all at one time. He signed one person, and then he signed the next person, and then he signed the next person. So it was just one of them things. So, so at that point, I think that was 88, 89.
Okay. So
89 when we got in the band.
What was the first song y'all recorded as MPG when it all came together?
Wow. I want to say when we were already doing, by the 89, 90, we were getting ready for the new tour. And there was little snips of like the stuff coming up for Diamond and Pearl's album.
Okay.
So the big hits on them were Diamond and Pearls and Cream and all that other stuff. So we were working on, there was stuff being worked on while we were on the new tour. So
Gotcha.
It's funny how a lot of that stuff is because it's kind of like you were working on stuff that you're going to be doing a year later.
Right.
And that's just how he was. He was just that perfectionist on how he was put together everything. So there was times you wouldn't know why he was telling you to come to the studio or you do something and he's like, wonder what that's for, man. I really didn't know. I mean, I wasn't one of the guys in there playing all the music. So a lot of times I didn't get to the studio until I'd hear like finished product of some of the stuff.
Gotcha.
And but most of my stuff was us choreographing what was on stage. So
Gotcha. Now, one of my personal favorites is the Sexy MF video.
Okay.
I've always wanted to know, was the exchange between you, Levi
and Mike and Big Mike,
was that scripted or was that ad lib when you got him good about the bucket of chicken hat he had on?
That was all like, your brother, we go back to them days. Now you ought to know, back
yeah.
We had them play the dozen things.
Play the dozen.
If you couldn't handle playing the dozen, you couldn't mess with us. So it was just it wasn't scripted. I mean, we said we were gonna have a little thing, but there wasn't no, well, you're gonna say this and you're gonna say that. And it wasn't like that. It just was right off the top of your head.
Okay. I often wondered how much leeway did Prince give y'all in that particular part of the video.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you caught it. But in the transition coming into the interview, I actually got that clip. You see the clip?
I did. I did.
I didn't want to tell you I was going to do that, but I made sure I got it.
No, you didn't. So. I looked and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was looking the other day trying to figure out, so that paper you had in your hand, what were you reading? What was you? And
the funny thing about that was he checked me afterward. He said, "Did you know that you had that paper in your hand? Did you know that said chick in the back of it?" And I was like, "Nah, bro. I mean, you handed me a paper, and told me to just act like I'm reading it. So I was. I didn't." He said, "Yeah." He said it had that on the back. It's like we weren't advertising that paper or anything, but it just happened to be there. But it was just a paper, man, and it was a magazine actually, and it had chick on it.
Okay. Well, yeah,
so
I always wondered.
Definitely wasn't scripted. None of the stuff was scripted on that part.
Okay. So, give me one of your more memorable moments from being out on tour, TV performance. Some funny, quick story you can tell about some silly that you still laugh about to this day.
Oh man, if I'm talking on the road, there was a time we had like a little water balloon fight type thing, and we were actually doing it with the bodyguards, and Prince was getting in it a little bit, so he kind of squirted people and then ran to his car. It was after one of the shows, and we're like, oh, is that right? So we kind of cornered the brother. We done got him where we can get a good shot, and Kirk had a good shot at him. You know what I mean? We had already got him where we're like, okay, we got this brother now. And so all the bodyguards was like trying to block.
Yeah.
On the backside, and he could get a shot, and he's like, nah, I'm good, man. I ain't going to do it. And we were like, really, dude? You really ain't going to get him? And then it was like kind of in. But if I'm talking on a show, it has to be one of my favorite was Arsenio Hall.
Okay.
We did the Arsenio Hall show when Patti LaBelle hosted it with him.
Yeah.
That was like the bomb show. We got the whole show. That was the first time he had let anybody do the whole show themselves. Arsenio wasn't about to let nobody just take over his show, but he let Prince do it. You know what I mean? And that was like one of my favorites. If I'm talking something really funny, I'd say the MTV Award.
Okay. Run that down to us right quick.
When we did Get Off.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny because we didn't know, we didn't know what he was going to wear or anything he was doing that day. Brother came to the venue with a long trench coat on.
Okay.
So fast forward, we right on the side of the stage getting ready to do our little prayer. We walk up on the thing, got the prayer going, and then the lights are all down. It's really dark, so you can't see anything. You know what I mean? Everybody got flashlights to help us get up on the stage. And we're sitting there, man, and we're all standing waiting in position, and then the lights come up and the screen. I look down, and this brother ain't got nothing on his butt. And I'm like, and then brother like, AD, you supposed to fall on him. I was like, yeah. And I fall on this man. And then I'm bridging because these other brothers them fell on me. And I'm like, as soon as they're trying to get up, man, and move back, I'm like, scoot back. And if you go back to that video, you can look at my eyes, and I'm trying to not look at his butt as I'm moving back. Like, okay. Yeah. All right, this is cool. So, yeah, them were some memorable, fun things we did on the road. I mean, but, he was kind of a prankster. He had his ways of getting at you, too.
Right. Well, on a more serious note, what is something that you learned from those early days, those initial experiences that you still kind of apply to your life today?
Oh man, just trying to be a perfectionist when you're doing, especially when it comes to the music. If you're gonna, whatever craft you're trying to do, even if you're dancing, he's always made me feel like if I'm gonna dance and do the best you can and practice it. Make sure you're doing everything. Because I remember doing a show once, and we had been out of road almost 3 months or whatever it was, and I went to change a dance move.
Okay.
Not thinking that he's watching me, and he actually was. So he does the spin and sung the line twice, and then he turned around. So afterward, we come off the stage. He said, "Did you change a dance step?" Told me he pays attention to everything. And I look back and I go, "Yeah, I did." And he goes, "Did you notice that I sung that line twice?" I was like, "Yeah, I did notice that. I thought maybe you were saying." He said, "Yeah. So when I spun around, that's usually my sign to see you do that move, and I know I go on to the next line, and you kind of messed that up by changing your dance step." And I went, "Hey, really?" So I got docked for that.
Wow. Wow.
And I just kind of went, okay, I don't change nothing without letting him know. But I learned that, it's like anything you do, when you're being in that kind of position, man, with the most talented guys in the world that you could be around. I mean, everybody in that band was just incredible. We're always told to, stay true to your craft. If you're going to dance, be a dancer. Do it the best you can. Make your show look, big. He always told me whenever I danced, I made things look big when you're doing a lot of stuff. So I said, all right. So I started paying attention to a lot of stuff, but it was just being a perfectionist on and off the stage.
Excellent.
Carry yourself in a professional manner. Have respect for your people.
I know you guys were the soundtrack of my personal life and many of others who are out there watching and listening. So I'm very thankful for those words because it was an inspiration to me at the time, and it still is to this day. A lot of Purple fam talk about, in various situations, what would Prince do? So there's things that we all have learned. You more up close, most of us from a little further back. It's been more than my pleasure to have made your personal acquaintance and consider you a true friend and fam at the same time.
And family, brother. Yes, sir.
In the spirit of Prince, like I mentioned to you before, all of the Prince Day Houston events also support charities in similar to what Prince did. So Prince Day Houston prides itself as being able to give back. The primary charities that we do look to is Yes We Code, PRN Alumni Foundation, which you are obviously a member of. And then this year we've made a special concession to do something for the George Floyd family. So with him being one of H-Town's own, we got to show love in H-Town for one of H-Town's own. I know that hit home to you because you're in Minneapolis. I have talked to you and keep up with you enough to know the personal position you have in those subject matters. So we have to save this for a whole nother interview, whole nother conversation. But just know we on the same wavelength with that. I want everybody to see that you are repping your Prince Day Houston wristband.
Yes, sir. I sure am.
Family. It is real. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Damon D is my brother.
Everything.
And I could talk to you more and more and more, but we're going to keep the show moving, keep the party moving, just like I told you. We finna kick some more old school funk for the true funk soldiers.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
So won't you tell the good people what we got next? How we finna move this party on to the next phase? But ladies and gentlemen, before he do that, give it up for my man Damon D, original member of the new power generation. My brother, for real, for real. So, pleasure having you here. Thanks for taking some time to talk with us on Prince Day. Sir. You stay blessed, stay safe. But what we got up next?
Yes, sir. So we're going back to the brothers playing Antonio Eyes.
Okay.
And Lid. And we're gonna let them get their groove on like they were before we got started. And I was in there dancing. I'm gonna let you know I was up here dancing when I was up.
You was up there dancing?
Oh man, I had my groove going on. I was up in the living room getting my thing going. So we're gonna kick it back to them and let them get funky.
How can everybody keep up with you on your social media platforms? The band is getting in position, so they about ready. But let the people know how they can keep up with you on your social media platforms.
Okay, brother. Yeah, well, on Facebook, everybody knows me as Damon Dixon. You're gonna look for me on Instagram. It's Dixon _ Damon 1 2. And if it's on Twitter, which I'm really not on very much, but it's at Damon D 1230.
All right. We already connected in more ways than one.
Yes, we are.
I will be back in Minneapolis as soon as it's safe. Cool. And we're gonna make sure we connect. I'll be in touch otherwise, man. You stay safe, stay blessed, brother.
All right, brother. All right.
Love you. See you soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bless.
Bless, brother.